everybody, how we doing? Matt Modi here with OddsJam, here to give you some MLB best bets for today. Using OddsJam, finding some bangers for the MLB. I have 2 no-run first inning bets. I have 1 strikeout prop, and I have 1 first half total as well. 4 MLB bets for you guys today. I will admit that it has been a rough go of it the past couple days. Yesterday, I came up with a MLB best bets video. Did not do so hot. I had the first half under in Red Sox Tigers. That lost. I had the under in the Giants White Sox. Just remarkably got that game incorrect. I also had no run first inning in that game. My favorite bet of the day was the over in the Nats Rockies. Guess what? 1 run was scored. Kind of the nature of the beast when it goes with baseball. I have a couple bets here today that I'm hoping will turn this thing around. Of course, when you have the first 4 days and pretty well in the green, a couple days really high up, you expect the downside of it as well, but we're hoping to turn this thing around. So as I mentioned, I got a couple plays for you guys. I have 4 total, couple that I found using the positive expected value page that we will get into now. Play number 1, it's a no-run first inning bet in the Padres versus Braves. So this is at plus 120 odds at WinBet. The reason why this play is good, number 1, is all from a math perspective, right? The no vig odds that you see in this column here price this play at about essentially plus 115. So the OddsJam perfect line prices it at plus 115. WinBet is giving it to us at plus 120. There's a 5% gap between these two numbers, which is where your profitability comes from, right? These no vig odds that you see here can be viewed as the true line of what this market should be priced at, right? The odds are pulled using a weighted average from the sharpest sportsbooks in the world, which is why we view it as the most accurate representation of what a market should be priced at. Plus 115. We're getting it up at plus 120. The reason why I like this play, aside from the fact that it's positive EV, we'll just look at where other sportsbooks price it, including sharp sportsbooks. Like we see odds at minus 119, minus 103, minus 105, plus 105, plus 100. Now we do see a couple sportsbooks that are close to the WinBet line as well, but using a weighted average from the sharp sportsbooks, we're getting a pretty good price here. Now, the reason why this is plus money is because we have a pretty gross pitching matchup. 2 pitchers that got shelled in their first starts. Now, as we saw in the Rockies-Nats game yesterday, that doesn't necessarily mean everything. There was a no-run first inning in the Rockies-Nats, and that game was supposed to have a ton of runs scored. So it's all about getting value time over time. It's something that will be profitable in the long run. Just might have to accept a little bit of variance, which I'm currently going through. But first play, no-run first inning in Padres-Braves. Next up, we found the pitching strikeout prop that I was talking about, Hunter Greene over 7.5 strikeouts, plus 104 odds at FanDuel. So the OddsJam perfect line prices this at about plus 102.5. Essentially, we're getting it up at plus 104. So again, there is the gap between these two numbers. Another reason why I like it, the most important reason, look at the value here, plus 104 at FanDuel. We see BetMGM and Caesars heavily favor the over. We see BetRivers favor the over. We see Betway favor the over. We see the OddsJam perfect line favor the over. And then we see other sportsbooks like DraftKings have it as a 50-50 outcome. And if you remember, we got it for plus money, which means that we don't have to win 50% of our bets in order to be profitable. And if we do win 50% of our bets, we will be profitable. Now, the Phillies, after the World Series appearance last year, started 1-5. Their team is just in total disarray. Nick Castellanos is striking out a ton. Schwarber is a heavy strikeout hitter as well. Obviously, he hits for power, but has also been striking out a lot. They also had to change up the lineup due to a couple injuries at first base. They're now down their top 2 first basemen. So Hunter Greene is an electric pitcher who sometimes can get a little wild, but also throws complete gas. So him going over 7.5 strikeouts, getting plus 104 odds, I think is really good value. So play number 2, Hunter Greene over 7.5 strikeouts. That's my second play. Next up, I found a play on the arbitrage tool. Now, arbitrage is when you can bet both sides of a market, like the over and the under, but due to the difference in the odds, you can bet both sides and guarantee profit. Generally, when there's that big of a gap between the markets, one, if not both of these sportsbooks have incorrect odds, which creates value on our end, which I found on the first half total runs market that I mentioned earlier. So the play, Dodgers, Diamondbacks, first half total runs over 4.5, minus 112 odds at FanDuel. Number one, it's an ARB directly to a sportsbook called Tipico, which is legal to me here in Colorado. But look at where other sportsbooks price it. Now, Bet365 is close, as is BetMGM. But then we see minus 124 on the OddsJam Perfect line. The graphic of the sportsbook isn't showing up, but it's the OddsJam Perfect line, sharpest sportsbook in the world, at minus 124. And then the other books, minus 125 in the minus 130s. Now, another reason why I like this is if you open up this event page in a new tab, pulls up the screen you see here, which is just the entire market for the first half total runs, where every sportsbook is pricing not only the actual play that we locked in, the over 4.5, but the entire market as well. So what you want to do, click show no VIG odds. Does exactly what it sounds like. Removes the VIG from every sportsbook that is pricing it. So we took the over 4.5 at minus 112. Well, we see OddsJam Perfect line prices it at minus 115. Tipico at minus 124, another sportsbook at minus 115, and then we're getting neutral value at BetRivers. So the majority of sportsbooks, we're getting a positive EV play. Another reason why I like it, we also see sportsbooks have this priced at 5 runs as opposed to 4.5. Now that 4.5 to 5 is a huge deal because of how small the number is. So we see like WinBet, Caesars, DraftKings, Tipico's main line, and then a couple other books like Betway and another sharp sportsbook have this priced at 5, which is a positive in our favor, right? The fact that they price it a half run higher. So this is another good play that I really like. Diamondbacks, Dodgers, first half total runs over 4.5, minus 112 odds at FanDuel. Then the last play I locked in, I found on the low holds page, and it is another no run first inning bet, this time in the Mariners versus Guardians. So no run first inning, Mariners Guardians, minus 128 odds at FanDuel. The reason why this play is good, just compare the FanDuel odds to the other sportsbooks. It's a low hold to a very sharp sportsbook, and just look at where the odds are priced. Now again, some are close. We see minus 130, but then we see like minus 169, minus 145, minus 148. In the minus 140s, minus 150. We're getting a really good price here on FanDuel, so we are locking it in as my fourth and final play of the day, my second NRFI of the day, and that's it. So I appreciate everybody watching. If you're tailing, make sure to comment, let me know. All that good stuff helps me out a ton. Other than that, enjoy the games today, and have a good one.